our main initial form of extract is a crude extract, which can be extracted through hydrocarbon means like butane or propane. It could be ethanol or CO2. It doesn't really matter, but it basically is a form of extract where you're extracting with a solvent and then recovering your solvent back out. Now, the difference between that and refined crude is that refined crude is a crude that has been post-processed and prepared for distillation, which basically that has to have two things at a minimum to be prepared for distillation. That's winterization, which is a saturating of the extract, and then you chill it to filter it and remove fats. And then there's a decarboxylation, which is letting off a lot of the gassy fumes to make sure that you have consistent pressure when you're distilling the product downstream. So a lot of things to kind of make sure when you're asking a processor, how refined is their crude whenever they're done, make sure you ask if they winterize and decarb too, because a lot of your product won't necessarily be viable unless it's been winterized and decarbed, or you'll have to pay for it from the distiller anyway. Full and broad spectrum distillate is what that finished product, when I mentioned distillation, is. It's if there's been no THC remediation, then it has a full spectrum of cannabinoids, including THC, and a broad spectrum would mean it's most of the spectrum excluding THC. So more of your THC-free distillate or T-free, however you want to utilize the terminology. CBD isolate or any sort of isolate is just a crystallization or isolation of a minor or major cannabinoid. Usually it comes in a crystalline or a powder form. That's the bonds of that are usually very, very tight whenever you're making a crystalline. So that's where you can get very high potencies like the 99s and the 100% without much of an issue. Nano, micro, and water soluble extracts. Those are, so Nano stands for a nano emulsified extract, or a nano emulsified isolate usually is basically just something broken down to that sub 80 nanometer particle size that helps it get through membrane barriers, and then it's emulsified with some sort of excipient or bioavailability booster. Microencapsulation is a similar rendition of the same process. It's just it's encapsulating instead of emulsifying into something. And both of those products, since it's broken down to that small of a particle size, it's kind of being able to be swallowed up or water soluble at that point too. So able to be utilized for beverages or water, or anything that kind of you want to boost the bioavailability of. That's a good place to go as far as how deep in the refinement process you'd like to take it.